other the way that we would build a corner, but rather the whole face of the huge granite block has been planed away in order to get this inverse quoin, these rounded corners. These are something of a mystery because there seems to be no really good explanation for going to this much trouble to construct a corner. There are several explanations that have been offered. One is that stereo engineers tell me that in order to produce a true stereo speaker, there cannot be right angles in it or it distorts the sound. It's a possibility that this was a consideration in the building of this temple. Another possibility is that there's a symbolism to it. In Egypt, there is no word for temple. Temple is called per neter, which means the house or the home of the god or principle. And the temple is meant to represent the living essence, or to evoke the living essence of that particular god or principle. So it may be that in these rounded corners, the Egyptians are mimicking organic form. They off the whole edge of the stone. X number of, you see, I mean, they're shaving off a few inches of stone to produce a corner that goes around the corner. But this they do from the beginning of Egypt to the end. They're always doing this. And the reasoning for this, again, nobody really knows. I've had lots of builders and architects and structural guys on my trips and said, does this make it any more earthquake-proof? And they all say, no, it's basically the same sort of thing. There's no Egyptian word for temple. It's called per neter, which means the home of the god or the principle. And it's meant to be, a living structure, as it were. They're reproducing an organic form as best they can. In other words, a wrist joint or a knee is not an angle, it's an articulation. And it's sort of, in other words, if these things really are energetic structures and there's energy flowing around these things, paramagnetic or whatever energies are intrinsic to stone, and there are energies that are intrinsic to stone, that this is, in other words, it's kind of forming a stone circulatory system.
But wherever you want something that's going to be nice and solid, like the fusing of the skull,
right.
What you do is you have something like the sutures in a skull. They're
right.
binding like that, which I think is not dissimilar to what's happening in your corner there.
Exactly. If you take it as a premise that these are in some way or another energy enhancing structures,
right.
The energy can go around an articulation as it does with our, all of our nervous system and all the rest, but it can't go around the corner.
Right, it doesn't just go around a straight corner. Right. So in the bones, you often have like a joint like this. It's articulating. We see that in the socket there. You have different bones in the skull that all fuse together, but they're fusing like that with the sutures. They're not just straight like that. And I think this ties right into what we're seeing.
Insofar as is possible, it's mimicking